Welcome to another episode of Sipping Whiskey with Jeff. I'm Jeff. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the show. So, what are we talking about today? First off, what are we drinking? Today, we are drinking a Knob Creek 9-year, 100 proof, the good stuff. I've already poured myself a glass because this is my fourth take. And I needed a sip. So, today we're talking to you about routine. In my last video, I talked about having a strategy. This is my strategy. I adopted what is called the Miracle Morning. I don't know if anybody's aware. It's a book that was written by Hal Elrod. Basically what it is it's a morning routine that's meant to optimize your personal well-being. Puts you first, okay? Which is essential because what matters most is you, your family, your close family. And if you're not taking care of you, what the hell are you doing, right? So I have not been taking care of me. I've been existing. I haven't been thriving. I haven't been focusing on anything that I really needed to be focused on. I was just, waking up at 8:30 in the morning and stumbling downstairs, having a quick cup of coffee, and by 9 I'm at work trying to lead. That ain't working for nobody, right? That's not even... Your brain doesn't even start. I was finding myself waking up and I was just so tired. And I would make it to noon. I would go take a shower. And that's about when I woke up. That ain't good. You know? So this Miracle Morning talks about starting your day an hour earlier than you traditionally do. I went a little bit more radical, okay? Last week, talking to Jim, and I talked about this in the last video, he suggested I start going to bed at 10 and waking up at 5 in the morning. I'm like, you're crazy. You're out of your damn mind. There's no way. I'm not going to do it. That is way too radical for me. But the more I thought about it, it actually made sense. So I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'll do 3 months. But if I'm doing it, I'm going to do it my way. And so I remembered about the Miracle Morning. I read it years ago. And so I watched a YouTube video. And I'll leave it down in the description. And it's a keynote speech that Hal Elrod gave. And it goes through his whole story. So the Hal Elrod started out, he was... young man, and he was traveling home from a convention, and he got in a car accident. A drunk driver hit him head on doing 70 miles an hour, and it totally destroyed his right side or his left side. It don't matter. One of his sides. It completely destroyed it. Shattered his orbital bone, broke his humerus. I believe that's what this is. Broke his femur. So he's got steel plates, metal in his face, all this stuff, right? And they told him he would never walk again. He'd be lucky. First, he'd be lucky if he survived, because he actually died like 6 times during the course of them, trying to heal him and put him into a coma. And they told his parents to prepare. Your son's never coming home. And then a week went by, and he woke up, and he starts talking, laughing, joking. And then another week went by, and he's healing at a miraculous rate. And the doctors couldn't understand it. And as time progressed, they actually thought he was delusional. They told his father. They said, listen, you've got to go in and talk to this kid. He's delusional. He's laughing and joking, and we're telling him he's never going to walk again. Who does that? It's because he was focusing on the positive. What kind of positive could you look at sitting in a hospital bed being told you're never going to walk again, right? So when his dad comes in there and he's like, son, how you feeling? What's going on? And he's like, I'm doing okay, Dad. But you look pretty stressed. You look, tears in your eyes. What's going on? He's thinking he was about to get the news he's gonna, kick it or whatever. And his dad's like, they think you're delusional. Every time they come in here to talk to you, you're laughing and joking around, and they're telling you some pretty serious things. What's going on? And he's like, Dad, I thought you knew me better than this. I live by the 5-minute rule. What? He's like, I allow myself 5 minutes. 5 minutes of however I want to react to a situation, and then I accept it. I accept what I can't change, that it's already happened, and what can I do moving forward from here? So what am I going to do? Sit here and be sad about it? Sit here and dwell on that negativity? No. They told me I'm never going to walk again. Great. I believe I will. They said I'll be in a wheelchair the rest of my life. Fine. If that's the case, that's my worst case scenario. I'm going to live the hell out of that wheelchair. But I choose to walk. I'm going to walk, and I'm going to get through this. And sure as shit, he did. Within a couple weeks, he was taking his first steps, and then he never sat in a wheelchair again. And he continued that positive mindset, right? All the way through, he got cancer a couple years ago. Pretty rare leukemia that it was horrible, and he had to get 100 days of straight radiation treatment. And he kept that same positive approach throughout it. It's what got him through it, got his family through it. But I'm sure that wasn't easy, right? So one of the things that he does in order to help prepare his mind and body for that sort of mindset is the Miracle Morning. So what is it? You get up an hour earlier, in my case, a couple hours earlier, 3 hours earlier to be exact, 3.5. And you break it down. He says to do it in 10-minute intervals. If you want to go more, fine, whatever. But 10 minutes, it fits nicely in 1 hour, right? So he follows the S.A.V.E.R.S. I think it's an acronym. That's what you'd call it. Silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. Let's go over those. So I'll give you my morning. I woke up at 5, got up, put my contacts in, grabbed my robe and went downstairs. Put the coffee on, sat down at the kitchen table, and just listened to the silence. No one's up. No one's moving around. I sat there for 20 minutes. Didn't touch my phone. Just sipping my coffee. Nice, quiet. And then I got up. And I didn't get up yet. I got my journal out. Okay. So I wrote down in my journal. I have a journal. I haven't been writing in it. Last entry was from July. I said summer was kicking off. So I plan on doing that every day. And I wrote, as soon as I had a whole page written. Okay. Then I wrote down an affirmation. And I followed a very specific methodology for writing an affirmation. And I spoke that affirmation out loud. And then I got up. Before I got up, I started on my calendar. Okay, so I wrote down the week's worth of food that I wanted to plan out for the family. Then I got up and I went in the family room and I started doing some deep stretching. And I did 10 minutes of deep stretching. And then did 10 minutes on my inversion table. Helps my back. And then I did 10 minutes of ice. And as I was icing my back for 10 minutes, I did 10 minutes of prayer. So I got my digital Bible out and I read the Bible and I said some prayers. And then that was my reading, as well as a little bit more silent time. Once I got all that done, I took a nice hot shower. That got me at around 6:30. Took a nice hot shower. And then I sat down. I filled out my groceries. Did an online order for my groceries for the week. Submitted that. That was delivered by 9 a.m. As I was waiting for the groceries to be delivered, I sat down on the couch and I did 5 minutes of purposeful breathing. By this time, the family's up. They're getting ready. They're, starting their day, doing schooling and all that. And I did 5 minutes of 4 seconds in, hold it, 2 seconds, and then 4 seconds out. Hold it for 2 seconds. Did that for 5 minutes. And I'll tell you, I got this ring, this Aura ring. It tracks my breathing, it tracks my heart rate, it tracks all that. And my heart rate dropped from, I think it was like 85 beats per minute to like 60. Something like that. So it really helps. It really calms you down, calms everything. So I'm trying to do that a couple times throughout the day. I got to set an alarm on my phone to remind me. But these are the little habits. Do something little every single day and you'll develop a habit. And so I'm developing a habit with something not so little. It's going to take some effort and it's going to take some commitment on my side. But I know that it's going to help my thinking. It's going to improve my cognitive functions. It's going to improve my health. And once I get this into a routine, I'm going to transition to the exercise portion where I'm going to start working on my body. We'll talk about that as that comes up. And I'm also going to be transitioning back to a keto diet, which is fantastic for me. You could still have your whiskey and your steak, which let me tell you about steak. I did a sous vide steak today. Don't know what sous vide is. It's water cooking, okay? You get a tool that you clamp on the side of like a big stock pot, and it circulates the water and heats it to a perfect temperature, whatever you set it at. So for steak, I like mine medium rare. So I had it set at 140 degrees. Okay? I cooked it for 6.5 hours. Just let it sit in there. And what it does as that time goes, it never goes above or below that temperature, so it's perfectly cooked, and it breaks down the proteins. So actually the longer you can go, the better. And then you take it out and you sear it for 30 seconds, both sides in a hot cast iron pan. What I did is I threw it I had my Traeger grill going, my pellet grill, and I had cooked some baked potatoes in there for an hour at 450, just smoking them, keeping it going. Well, I also had a cast iron pan in there getting hot. So I took them out of the sous vide, threw them in the cast iron. Man, they came out like butter. You didn't even need a knife to cut them. And the taste, the smoke was infused, just a little bit of smoke from the Traeger. But those baked potatoes, man, the smell, the taste, and the smell from the smoke from the competition pellets that I use, it's fantastic. And it's a super easy way to cook. You just set it and forget it. You put it in a bag. I put it in a Ziploc bag, the steak, put it into the water, submerged it, but it's not getting the water. It's sealed because I clip it to the side of the pot, and just left it in there for 6.5 hours, and it perfectly cooked. And then all you got to do is worry about the smoke from the searing. That's why I did it outside on the Traeger. So that, along with a good bourbon, is the way to live. So, Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. I'm going to link his keynote speech in the description. Watch it. It's an hour and a half long. I know. It's an eternity. Okay? It's worth it. Even if you pause it and pick it back up every once in a while, where if you can't spend an hour and a half to learn something new that could possibly improve your life, what are you doing with yourself? Right? I suggest taking a look at it and giving it a shot. Try it out. Like me, I'm going to give this routine 3 months. Solid 3 months. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, waking up early, but Friday I stay up late. That's my gaming night with the boys. Saturday, I'll probably stay up late watching movies, but who knows. Sunday, back to bed by 10. That's my routine. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to stick to it for 3 months. And I'll continue to update you here. Hopefully, I'll start to see my face slim down as I start to add some exercise in. Because I've bulked up. Just a little bit. Just a hair. Other than that, that's all I got for you tonight. I really wanted to share this Miracle Morning with you. I tell you, I felt amazing this morning. I accomplished so much in the span of only a couple hours. And yeah, so until next time, adios.